Hello everyone, Steve again from Faithless and Flawless. So today I figured I would do a bit of a talk through review of blood. So it's a long way until Halloween comes, and with things as it is, will we even be out then celebrating? Who knows? However, blood is something that is extremely important to get right. You're not going to see much of my face in this. I'm going to be recording sheets of paper and my hands. You'll see that some stains easier than others, some's better at giving different effects, and I'll talk through that. So please do, if you like this, give it a like, subscribe, comment and share. Now, of course, as always, if you want to see me do a video, especially during this quarantine time, do let me know in the comment section. Right, so first up, I want to get out a few things that you should not use. I have them. There's this. This came, I think, from Poundland or similar. It will stain your skin like crazy. You don't want to use it, basically, which is why this one's still in here. I don't know why I haven't just thrown it, but you should. This, I don't even know where I got it from. It had been in a set. It's not blood. It's like a blood jelly kind of wax. If I try and open this up, it's sticky. Let's try and get a bit out. It's not useful for anything. Look at it. So if you have something like that, it's not going to look realistic. It's not going to do anything. So don't bother with that one either. This is also from Poundland. Again, going to stain like buggery. So leave that one to the side as well. In fact, I've got two of them. Look. Now this one, again, let's turn it around the right way. Horror Blood face art. Don't know where I got it from. Don't know why I'm keeping it. Let's pour a little bit out. Now like that beaded up straight away. Now with my sticky finger from that other thing, let's see what it looks like. It looks more like a painting than blood. Does it stain? That's the thing. I've got a little bit of a stain on my finger. Let's see how it comes off with a wipe. So I've still got a bit of stainage there. So yeah, another cheap one. Don't bother with it. Next, another Poundland jobby. Now this I do use, it does stain, but when I've done ball caps and things, I quite like it. Just because I like that. I mean, you can use any blood in a squirty bottle and you're going to get the same effects, but I love just the quick easiness. I normally have used it when I've been working at Scream events, scare mazes, where I've had like a prosthetic ball cap, for instance, and loads of prosthetics on my face and just squirt that all over. But it does stain. So again, not highly recommended. Same with this. Again, another Poundland product. As you can see now, I'm starting with the cheap stuff. The stuff that you can pick up and you've probably actually got in your house from previous Halloweens. Now, if I squirt a bit of this out. Oh, jeez. Oh, look. Now, I don't know if it's meant to be like that or whether it's meant to be more like the liquid there. But that definitely looks more like a jelly to me. It looks a bit like it could be similar to the clots that I'm going to show you later, just not very good quality. Looks too pinky for blood, in my opinion. And the watery substance is no better. So, does it stain? Most likely, it's Poundland. Yep, it's staining. So that is most of the cheap bloods. We're going up in the world now. We're going to a famous brand used by most people that do face painting. Snazaroo. Now this is their special effects gel blood. Made in Minehead, Somerset. For external use only, not for use around the eyes, and may stain fabrics. It does, however, have an easy to remove thing, so the chances are, out of all of these that stain your skin and probably will be difficult to get out of clothing, this one should be machine washable with just some soap and water. So let's try and find an empty space, move them out of the way. Okay, so that's very gel-like how it's coming out. It does have a nice little lid here. Snazaroo's, as I say, renowned for their face paints. Okay, that looks a little bit darker, but it does look like ketchup. It looks like something I'll be putting on my hot dog here. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that realistic, but it's very cheap. Where have I put that wipe? Got a little bit of stainage, but I reckon that will come out with a bit of a scrub, better than the other finger that's proving more and more red. So they're all the cheap bloods. Not much to say about them. I personally don't use them, really. I avoid them. Next, we have the good stuff. Right, so first of the good stuff. Kryolan's blood powder. Now, it says on here, blood powder allows you to realistically simulate the sudden appearance of bloody effects. In order to prevent, staining of the actor's skin, blood powder should be applied to skin that has been first provided with a protective shield of grease paint. Now, I use DermaShield and things like this to protect actors when I'm putting on adhesives and things like this. But this is a fantastic product. It gets applied dry as a powder directly to the skin. If you think of it on stage now, you can apply it, say, to where you want a wound, maybe on the chest. And then the weapon that is going to be used on stage is covered in a water or jelly or glycerin, watered down. And when that hits where the blood is, the powder, the blood will then appear. So it's perfect for stage. You can also put it in empty pill packets. And the actor can then, like, you know, cut on the hand, squeeze open, and then, you know, the wound, the dagger, say for instance, if you put a bit here, the dagger slices through, which is coated in water, and blood starts trickling out. So let's try this. So you don't need much. Now, on an actor's skin, this would rub in a lot better than on paper, and it would be hard to see, especially under stage lights. So you could even have it on the face structure. Now, once water comes into contact with it, it will start beading up, and I have, ta-da, one right there. Look at that. So that's the sort of effect you're going to get. Instant blood as soon as water touches it. Fantastic for things like stage or hidden tricks, so to speak. It does stain, as you can see. My hands are now covered, so that is why it's important to do a protective shield beforehand. This is going to take a lot of scrubbing, so I don't think this hand's going to be clean for the rest of the video now. Moving on. Next up, another Kryolan product. Now, I do own a lot of Kryolan. I go to their bag sale every year, which is fantastic value for money. A lot of camping out. But here we've got Special Blood AEW. And now, Kryolan always has German on it as well. I can't say a single word. Filmblut in German. Now, here it says it's a multi-purpose version of artificial blood for theatre, film, and TV, which is what Kryolan's most known for. It is one of the market leaders in that field. Can be washed from almost all materials with water and washing powders. Keep away from eyes and shake well before use. Now, it's got a slow flow to it, which is really good for certain effects. And the great thing is, it is mouth safe. But as with any mouth safe bloods, you don't want to be swallowing it. So let's give it a bit of a shake. Oh yeah. So you can see how slow flowing that is compared to other bloods you'll see. And look at the colour. Now, a lot of the bloods you're going to see come in multiple variants of colour. I've gone for dark on this. It's available in light and maybe some others. Now, of course, human blood flows at different rates, is different thicknesses, and then that's why it's important to have multiple types of blood, depending on what sort of injury you're creating. So this is a slow flow blood. Now, as you can see, look in here, it's thick. It's not going to drip everywhere, especially like cheap blood does. It's got a fantastic colour into it, this one. And if you really move it out, you could do some painting with that, couldn't you? So it definitely looks like thick blood and would be fantastic splattered over a dead body. Clearly in film and TV, not in real life. So my hands are still red from the powder blood, but that I really like that one. Now, sticking with Kryolan, let's just move the paper over. We've got Wunden Fuller, which is wound filler. They come in a different pot now, which I have, but this is my open one. So what's the point in opening in a different one? Now, this gives a gel-like blood effect, and it works well placed in lower parts of an injury, as it looks more realistic. So if you've got a gash on your hand and it's raised up here, putting this on the lower part looks like it's piled up and got bits and pieces in it. Now, the great thing with blood, there's some tricks. If you was to mix oats and things like this with it, it actually looks like bits of flesh. I'm not going to try that today and show it off. So although this is my used one, I clearly haven't used much. Now, as you can see, it's very gel-like. It's getting a bit out. Let's plop it on. So this isn't a blood that's going to drip everywhere. It is a wound filler. So it does exactly that. Fills a wound, sits at the bottom. It's a bit jelly, basically. That's what it says on the tin. I have a few tubs of it. It's not my go-to, though. I have better wound filler for the majority of jobs I do. And I guess we should go on to that now. Yes, Klink Street FX. Absolutely love this company. I love their logo and everything they stand for. This is their Stage Blood Clotted Wound Filler. Now, Klink Street is so called after a medieval prison that had brutal executions, burnings and tortures, mostly on the poor of England, especially London. And you can actually still visit Klink Street Prison if you visit in London, and it's just up the stream from the Tower of London. So once this coronavirus is all sorted, I definitely recommend to go and check out the real Klink Street. I also quite like their beefeater with shades, very English. Now, it says on here, key features: super smooth, glossy texture, intense, visceral colour, non-beading, non-staining, washes out of fabrics easy. The other thing is, it's mouth safe. It's got a peppermint flavour. Still, do not swallow it. And in their words, it is great for mass carnage. So let's open it up. Now, as you can see, this is a lot darker. It's more, instead of gel-like, it's more like a paste. This, I think, looks a lot better than the Kryolan wound filler on the majority of injuries. Or simulated injuries, should I say. Oh, look at that. It just looks amazing straight away. So, wound fillers, because blood obviously clots as it hits the air, this looks already thick, drying out. It's great for filling a wound, hence wound filler, and it's got that slightly clotted effect. Gorgeous. And sticking with Klink Street, we've got their Stage Blood. Now, again, with all these products, you can get them in different colours. I've got a Venus medium, and this is the non-drying kind. It's absolutely fantastic. It's washable, mouth safe again, smells of peppermint. Let's just, before I open it up, let's just see what it says. Key features: super smooth, glossy texture, intense visceral colour, non-beading, non-staining, washes out of fabrics easily. Now, this is a realistic non-drying blood for use directly on the skin and prosthetics. It drips, smears and spatters to great effect. And again, washes out easily. So, as with all of them, give them a good shake. Oh, yeah. See, I like my blood dark on the majority of things. So I do have more dark and mediums rather than light pinks and stuff. I think for horror effects and that, it just looks worse in a good way. All I can smell is mint now. Absolutely lovely. So let's move on. Okay, now this is one I haven't actually used much of. I got it in my student kit, I believe, when I was studying. Do you like how they've spelt makeup? The website didn't actually work when I went on it earlier. But you can still buy this product. I think I saw it on Tilt when I was looking. So, apply with a brush to create a dried blood effect on skin, sets, props and costumes. Repeat until desired effect is achieved. It looks like it will come out fairly easy. Health and safety, etc., etc. So this is the dried blood in dark. So it's going to give the effect of dried blood. Now, that's great if you, I don't know, shoot someone through the head. Get this on a spray bottle, spray it on the wall, and it will dry and look phenomenal. Now, as you can see, it is drying super quick. It's pretty much dry now, actually. Let's try a finger that hasn't. They've all got blood on them. But yeah, that's dry. And it looks like dry blood. So that's actually pretty decent. I think I'm going to have to work more on that. And while we're on this sheet of paper, Ben Nye Fresh Scab. Doesn't say much apart from keep out of reach and all this sort of stuff, the ingredients. Now this is a brownish blood tint for dried blood clotting effects. It doesn't completely set, but the outer layer gives a sort of scabbed effect. And it is washable. Doesn't actually say whether it is mouth safe, but I've never. Well, why would you want something like this in your mouth anyway? It's not the sort of blood you'd find in your mouth. It's a scab, so it's thick. It's a very, very thick. Now I have used a fair amount of this stuff. I've got a couple of pots. I do like it. I do like it a lot. Now this thicker layer, the outer part will dry, at least to an extent, and look a bit more of a scab, whereas you'd still be able to then move it and get fresh blood underneath. So it's got some good applications. Certainly recommend. Ben Nye does a heck of a lot of different kinds of makeup as well. It's not all blood. Check them out. And now our last but certainly not least set of blood. Rob Smith, the master of blood. Now this guy is amazing at creating different kinds of bloods. He's English. He spent years and years trying to perfect his own blood. Now, if you want to find out more about him, check out Stuart Bray's podcast. He actually interviews him, and it's really, really interesting. The depths that he's gone to, and I'm sure a few other blood makers have as well, to get the right kind of flow, the look, everything perfect. And now he's also got his own website and everything, so do check him out. Now, these are mouth safe. Again, don't swallow. All his bloods he's tried to get, so they remove most fabrics with just soap and water. These ones specifically are good for being pumped through as well, tubing. So if you want, I don't know, a neck gash and then blood to spurt out, clearly this size bottle isn't going to last long, but on situations like that, along with most of these bloods, you can contact the manufacturer and get them by the bucket load. And these bloods are especially good for that. So let's give them both a shake. Now the two colours I have here, I have Venus and Original. So let's try the Original first. I'll put that on there. And then I'll put the Venus there, just so we can see the difference. And then a finger each ready. So this is watered down, in the sense of it will pump easy with minimal water added. It won't lose its colour because it's highly pigmented. This is fantastic for putting on prosthetics and things because it doesn't bead and all this. It will drip as you need it. You know, I don't know, maybe you're going as a traditional vampire and you just want a bit of blood coming down from your fangs. Something like this would be perfect. 1, because it's mouth safe. 2, because it's going to drip how you want it to drip. And 3, it's going to come out of any of your fabrics with hardly any hassle at all. So that is the final blood product. I have others, things like blood capsules, but I don't want to use the few blood capsules I've got on a demonstration video. You can get blood packets where once they're pierced, they splatter all over the clothing, things like this. But they are the basics of blood, basically. There's loads of different kinds, types. One thing, if you're going to get into blood work, you want something like this. Now, this one's one I'm using, of course. Now, let me quickly demonstrate. So these are fantastic if you want to do scratches. Let's try and get a bit more on it. All right, I'm not getting any. Let's pour some on. I'm just spreading it around. What one have I picked up here? I've got the original. So, there we go. Get the excess off. And say I've scraped my knuckles up. So something like this gives that scratched effect instantly without worrying about details. Now, the other thing this goes well with is something like the Klink Street clotted fillers. So again, let's do it down here. Yeah, so instant cut up knuckles. Really quick and simple. These you can pick up from most places. And that is Steve from Faithless and Flawless talking about blood. So if you enjoyed that video, do give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, and do let me know what else you'd like to see. I'm going to spend quite a while now trying to get rid of all this red on my hands. So stay safe. And of course, stay creative. I'm nicking that. I do apologise, Paul. That's your phrase. But you should stay creative. It's the best thing to do.